The lawyer whispered, "Don't drink the tea." 10 minutes later, I discovered my own family had been drugging me for months. My name is Evelyn Parker. I'm 71 years old, and for most of my life, I believed I had built the perfect family. I had one son, Daniel, one daughter-in-law, Rebecca, and one granddaughter, Sophie. Everything I did for them. When Daniel was young, I worked double shifts at a hospital so he could attend a good school. When Rebecca started her small business, I invested nearly half of my retirement savings to help her. When Sophie was born, I practically became her second mother. I thought sacrifice created loyalty. I thought love created gratitude. I was wrong. The day my illusion shattered started with a cup of tea. A simple cup of tea that nearly cost me everything. It was a Friday afternoon when Daniel insisted on taking me to meet a lawyer. "Mom," he said, smiling warmly, "it's just estate planning. You're not getting any younger, and we need to make sure everything is organized." I agreed. After all, that sounded reasonable. At my age, people talked about wills and inheritance all the time. The lawyer's office was elegant and quiet. The man introducing himself as Victor Reynolds seemed professional enough, but something about him felt strange. Not dishonest. Nervous. As if he wanted to say something but couldn't. Rebecca had prepared tea for everyone before we arrived. She handed me a cup with her usual sweet smile. "Your favorite chamomile tea," she said. I thanked her. Then I noticed the lawyer staring at the cup. His expression changed, just for a second. Then he looked away. We sat down. Daniel began explaining how important it was for me to simplify my financial affairs. Rebecca nodded enthusiastically. Sophie sat quietly scrolling through her phone. The lawyer opened a folder. Then suddenly he dropped a pen. As he bent down to retrieve it, he moved close enough to whisper something barely audible. "Don't drink the tea." My heart nearly stopped. I looked at him. His face remained completely expressionless. No one else seemed to notice. Had I imagined it? No. I knew exactly what I had heard. "Don't drink the tea." Without changing my expression, I placed the cup on the table. Then I pretended to be distracted by the paperwork. The meeting continued. Daniel kept talking. Rebecca kept smiling. But now, I wasn't listening. I was watching, observing, waiting. And within 10 minutes, I learned a truth so horrifying that it changed everything. The documents weren't estate planning forms. They were guardianship papers. Legal documents declaring that I was mentally incapable of managing my own affairs. According to the paperwork, I suffered from confusion, memory loss, and cognitive decline. According to the paperwork, Daniel needed full control over my finances. According to the paperwork, I was no longer competent enough to make decisions. I felt cold, ice cold, because none of it was true. I was perfectly healthy. I still drove. I still managed my investments. I still volunteered twice a week. Yet somehow, these documents painted me as a helpless old woman. Then I saw something even worse. Medical reports, reports claiming I had shown signs of dementia. Reports describing forgetfulness and irrational behavior. Reports that looked official, very official. And yet I had never seen them before. Never. Daniel pointed to the signature line. "Just sign here, Mom." His voice sounded gentle, caring, practiced, the voice of a man pretending to help. I looked directly into his eyes. For the first time in years, I saw something I had never noticed before. Greed. Pure greed. "I'm not signing today," I said calmly. Silence filled the room. Rebecca froze. Daniel blinked. Sophie finally looked up from her phone. "What do you mean?" Daniel asked. "I mean exactly what I said." His smile faded. "It's only paperwork. Then it can wait." For the first time, tension entered the room. The lawyer remained silent, watching, waiting. Daniel tried again. "Mom, we're only trying to help." I smiled. "So am I." Then I stood up and left. The entire ride home, my heart pounded. The lawyer's warning echoed in my mind. Don't drink the tea. Why would he say that? What did he know? That evening, I received my answer. At exactly 7:43 p.m., my phone rang. Unknown number, I answered. Mrs. Parker. Yes. This is Victor Reynolds, the lawyer. I couldn't speak earlier. His voice sounded tense. Urgent. You need to be very careful. My stomach tightened. Why? Because your family has been drugging you. For several seconds, I couldn't breathe. What? I saw the toxicology report. The what? The report they paid a private doctor to prepare. My hands started shaking. Victor continued. For 6 months, you've been consuming low doses of sedatives. I sat down, unable to process what I was hearing. No, I'm afraid, yes. He sighed. The medications were causing fatigue, confusion, memory lapses, and slowed thinking. I felt sick. Suddenly, dozens of strange incidents made sense. The days I felt unusually tired. The moments I forgot simple things. The times I couldn't focus. I had blamed age. I had blamed stress. But what if someone had been causing it? Victor continued. They were building a legal case. A case. To convince a court that you were mentally incompetent. My world tilted. My own family. My own son. The child I had raised. The child I had protected. The child for whom I sacrificed everything. And then Victor revealed the worst part. They've already spoken with 3 nursing homes. I closed my eyes. My chest hurt. The betrayal felt physical, painful, heavy, real. But Victor wasn't finished. There's something else. What? They believe you're worth approximately $600,000. I laughed bitterly. Because they were wrong. Very wrong. You see, 20 years earlier, my late husband had sold a technology company. A sale that generated millions. Most people thought the money had disappeared. Even Daniel believed that. But the truth was very different. The money was hidden, protected, invested, and now worth nearly $8 million. A fortune nobody knew existed. Nobody except me. And suddenly I realized something. They were willing to destroy me. For less than 10% of what I actually owned. That realization changed everything. I stopped crying. Stopped feeling sorry for myself. Stopped acting like a victim. Because victims react. Strategists plan, and for the first time in my life, I became a strategist. The next morning, I hired the best attorney in the state. Then I hired a forensic accountant. Then a private investigator. Within 3 weeks, we uncovered enough evidence to destroy my family's entire scheme. The investigator discovered Rebecca had secretly opened credit accounts using my information. Over $82,000 in fraudulent debt. The accountant discovered unauthorized withdrawals from my savings. Nearly $47,000. Then came the surveillance evidence. Recordings, emails, text messages, conversations they thought nobody would ever hear. And what they revealed shocked even my attorney. One message from Rebecca read, "The old woman needs to be in a nursing home before Christmas." Another from Daniel said, "Once we get guardianship, everything becomes ours." Everything, not some things, everything. They weren't protecting me. They were hunting me. 1 month later, I invited the entire family to dinner. They arrived smiling, confident, certain they were winning. The dining room looked beautiful. Candles, flowers, fine china. A perfect family gathering, at least on the surface. Halfway through dinner, Daniel raised a glass. To family. I smiled. To honesty. Rebecca shifted uncomfortably. Then I stood and placed a thick folder on the table. The room became silent. Daniel frowned. "What's that?" "Evidence." Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. I opened the folder and began reading. Bank records, credit card applications, private investigator reports, financial fraud documents, text messages, everything. Color drained from their faces. Sophie started crying first. Rebecca looked like she might faint. Daniel stared at me in complete disbelief. Finally he spoke. "Mom, we can explain." "No." My voice was calm, steady, powerful. "You can't." Then I placed one final document on the table. A new will. Daniel looked confused. "What is this?" "My final estate plan." His eyes widened. For a brief moment, hope returned. Then he read it. And everything changed. Every dollar, every investment, every property, every account, every asset. Gone. Not to him. Not to Rebecca. Not to Sophie. Instead, everything was being donated to children's hospitals, scholarships, and charities helping abandoned seniors. Nearly $8 million. None of it would ever belong to them. Rebecca burst into tears. Daniel turned pale. Nobody had anything left to say. The meeting ended. The lawsuits began. The criminal investigations followed. And within a year, their entire plan collapsed. Daniel lost his professional license. Rebecca faced fraud charges. Their finances were destroyed. Not because I sought revenge, because actions have consequences. Today, I live peacefully near the ocean. I volunteer. I travel. I spend time with people who genuinely care about me. And every now and then, someone asks if I regret cutting my family out of my life. My answer is always the same. No. Because family isn't defined by blood. Family is defined by loyalty. And the moment loyalty disappears, the title disappears with it. As for that lawyer, the man who whispered for words that saved my life, I still send him a Christmas card every year. Because sometimes a stranger's courage can protect you better than a lifetime of family love. And if there's one lesson I've learned from all this, it's simple. The most dangerous betrayal never comes from your enemies. It comes from the people who know exactly how much you trust them.